The conversation on which zone deserves to get the 2023 presidency is one that will drag on throughout the election season. Some stakeholders around the country have been holding consultations and pushing for the agenda of an Igbo presidency by 2023. Prominent socio-political groups from different parts of the country, including Afenifere Renewal Group, Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF, and Middle Belt Forum, met in Abuja at the Greater Nigeria Conference last week, insisting that the Igbos should produce the President of Nigeria in 2023 for equity, justice, and fairness. The conference was organized by leaders and friends of the Southeast Geopolitical Zone with the theme, Together We Can. Speaking at the conference, PANDEF leader Chief Edwin Clark appealed for concession of the presidency to Igbos in 2023. Clark said Nigeria should not be described as a tripod anymore because of the country's current 36 legs. If any part of these 36 legs got broken, the country would not be at ease, stressing that what the country is experiencing is exactly that today. Clark insisted that the people of the Igbo extraction deserve to have a sense of belonging in Nigeria. He also stressed that the clamor for a president of Southeast geopolitical extraction is supported by him. Joining us now on this show this morning, as we take a look at the possibility of an Igbo presidency in the next general elections in Nigeria, is Chief Edwin Clark, leader of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum and Chairman, Board of Trustees, Igbo National Congress. Welcome to the morning show, Chief E.K. Clark. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much, Ruben.
Good to have you.
Ruben, good morning, Rufai. Good morning. And my dear Victoria Tundu Abiola. Your father used to be my fellow traveler in those days when there was Nigerian Airways.
Well,
good morning, sir.
Chief, it's very obvious that you watch this program regularly because the only other person that introduces Tundu in that manner is Emmanuel Ifeni.
I watch it every day, Ruben. But I don't know how to describe you because you are a mathematician, you are an English, you are in English, you are an economist, you are a geographer, you are everything.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I'm very proud of you.
That's
Thank
great.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, but very quickly, I'd like to ask you about this Greater Nigeria Conference and the position that has been taken by the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum with regard to the zoning of the presidency. Now that it's becoming clear that both the APC and the PDP, the two main parties, are looking towards the north and jettisoning the idea of zoning the presidency to the south. Your thoughts on this?
Thank you very much. I think I was not able to attend personally, but I sent a statement to that conference. And my idea about zoning the presidency to the southeast is original. It's not today. I've been saying it. But let me start from this. In 1967, the war broke out. Civil War broke out. And I'm one of those who suffered. I had my house in Warri burned. I have to run to my village, Kiabodo. From there to a place called Akbadabre, which was outside the land. At the end of the war, I came back. And there was the agitation by Midwesterners that there should be a Berlin Wall type of wall by Igbo to separate the Igbo speaking that had 9 senior military officers who led the Juku's army into Midwest without a shot. And the people said they don't want to have anything to do with them. And it was very difficult. But when the federal troops entered Benin City, and Ogbomudia was then a major, he was appointed military administrator. There was a theory that one Dr. Okonkwo, Major Okonkwo, from one of these Igbo-speaking Midwesterners, was appointed by Ojukwu as the administrator of Republic of Benin. And when Ogbomudia came in, he saw on his table 2 telegraph messages from one Chief Dafe, former Minister of Finance in Midwest, congratulating Okonkwo, and said that the Midwesterners have been sent packing. Then on the same table, he saw another telegram sent to him by the same Dafe, congratulating him and condemning the rebels. So you can see what human beings could do at that time. That Midwest was taken over without a gunshot. It's amazing. But even after the war, in 1970, we thought it was proper, having regard to our sufferings, to go to Durban Barrack to congratulate the head of state. We got there, and he told us, "Sam, what are you doing here?" Say, "We have come to congratulate you." Say, "You go back. I've just fought a family war. No victor, no vanquished. Why should you come to congratulate me? Is it because your state was invaded by them?" So we laughed. So we should go back. And carried out his 3 principles of policies of rehabilitation, reconstruction, and reconciliation in order to bring Igbos back into Nigeria fully. Based upon that, every civil servant we went to Rome to reconcile. Throughout the night, on the 2nd of November, 1967, we reconciled. So a meeting was called, and every public officer was to pay a percentage of his salary, which they did. And first and foremost, said, "I should go and visit. You want with me to Durban Barrack, take charge, even as Commissioner for Education." I collected 100 girls from various schools, secondary schools in Midwest State. And I went to the east. I was told to pass through Abagana. But Abagana was very badly destroyed by the federal troops. And we did. And my children broke into tears. Say, "Daddy, these people suffered more than us." So we went to Enugu. When we got to Asika, put us in Queen's School. The place was devastated. And to cut the long story short, in the morning, I told Asika, the children coming from Biafra have to sing national anthem with my children. That was the first time the children after the war sang the national anthem with my children. And my permanent secretary, G.A.T. Agri, who refused to pay because his house was also burnt, was sobbing, crying. I looked back. He said, I'm sorry, I'm going to pay. So we went back. And we came within 3 trailers of desks, benches, tables, cutlery, and supplied to Queen's School Enugu. We went back. And Gomwork of Benue Plateau was visiting us. He said, Sam, supply one school for me also, and I won't pay you. And we supplied Okonano Grammar School, Union Secondary School. That's all. We went to Nsukka, the University of Nigeria. And the furnished 10 quarters, the forbidden 10 quarters. And for that, I know later, Bumuda earned an honorary degree of the University of Nsukka, where the student wanted to carry him with the car he was driving. They said you should not touch the ground. I've gone back to say all this. So what did I do? I came home and I told the parents I was very excited. Can we send some of our children to go and stay with these children in order to integrate them to Nigeria? They said, why not start with your child? So there was a big row. So I dropped the meeting. They challenged me. I went to St. Teresa's College, Ughelli. My eldest daughter, Rebecca Clark, was class 2, young girl. So I called the Reverend Sister. This girl is my daughter. I'm taking her to Queen's School Enugu. He said, why? Are you mad? I said, no. She's going. I put her inside my car, drove her straight to Enugu. Put her in the hand of Dr. Diele, who was the Commissioner of Education, and Fina Sika. I became a member of the Parents Association. We contributed money to buy a bus for Queen's School Enugu. And I remember when new 2 houses were to be created in the school after they rebuilt, the girls were asked to vote. They used to call their houses Mongo Park, Randa, and so on. They said one house should be named after me. Today, there's a house in Enugu, Queen's School, named after Clark. The other was named after the first governor of Eastern Region. My daughter passed out with one Dr. Joy Ogwagede. They were all class 2. Recently, about 6 months ago, they celebrated their anniversary here in Enugu, where over 125 former girls of Queen's School attended. The executive later attended a dinner in my house. So we employed teachers who were asked that they had no money. So primary schools were appointed into schools in Asaba.
Yes,
division.
sir. Thank you
for
that. Thank you for that context. I wanted to draw your attention to the front cover of this day newspaper.
Yes, yes.
The headline says,
I've not seen it.
Bury zoning and bury Nigeria. South/Middle Belt leaders warn. What is your take on that really stark warning? But we'll just take a quick break and we'll be back with more with you. Please stay with us, sir. Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. We're still with Chief Edwin Clark, leader of Pan-Niger Delta Forum and Chairman, Board of Trustees, Igbo National Congress. Thank you for staying with us, sir. So just before the break, I was drawing your attention to the front page of today's This Day, which says, bury zoning and bury Nigeria, South/Middle Belt leaders warn. And that's a statement that you co-signed. What exactly are the consequences that you fear if we do not have a Southern president come 2023?
Thank you very much. No Nigerian would like to live in Nigeria whereby certain people believe that unless they are in power, there's no Nigeria, that that party will not succeed. So if APC believes that unless you have a Northerner as a candidate, they won't succeed, because they believe that the 12 million votes led by Buhari will be taken over by that person. So they have been watching PDP, that have been prevaricating, that have been existing because of the support of the Southeast. Are prevaricating. So they are waiting. The moment it is thrown open in the South, by PDP, they will change. I've heard that their leader, Abdullahi Adamu, I know him very well. We were together in 1979 in PDP. I'm sorry, NPN. He was secretary of the Plateau NPN, later chairman. He was pressing the people like Ibrahim Matu, who were ready to take office, but they wouldn't allow them. A minority of Fulanis in Plateau took over power from the indigenes. That led to the trouble later. What am I saying? When Lugard created Nigeria in 1914, he did not say some people are superior to the other. So when the war ended, Nigeria was a three-legged pot. Black pot we use in cooking. One leg belonged to the north. The other leg belonged to the west. The other leg belonged to the east. These were the three legs upon which Nigeria stood. Once you destroy one during the war, Nigeria has not been steady. They never allowed General Yakubu Gowon to complete the building of Nigeria after the Civil War in the name of coup. I'm writing a memoirs, and the title of that book is Brutally Frank. And the foreword is written by my boss, General Yakubu Gowon. I said, oh, let me warn. The coup that threw Gowon out of office was not due to any other thing, inefficiency of Gowon also. It was because of the war, the Civil War. And I will say this in my book. I won't say it now. It was the refusal of some people to allow the Igbos to be appointed general manager of the NNOC, which is NNPC now. And because an Igbo man was appointed, there was a coup. I have the story. I will say it in my book. I don't want to say it public now. So I believe that if we have to come back together and the Igbos are now part of us. We should not do anything to remind them. But why did you surrender? So my father asked that question. If you want the Igbo to be second-class citizens in their country, go on, you should have allowed them to go. You have no moral justification for keeping second-class citizens in your country. There will be no peace.
Okay.
Their children are growing up. They are asking questions. So what I'm saying is this. If you zone in which will heal the Igbo leg, is not done, Nigeria is not straight. So if you say you have zoning is dead or rotation is dead and buried, there will be no Nigeria.
Okay, sir.
Because nobody will remain in this country.
Okay, sir.
As a second-class citizen.
Okay, sir. If you can hear me, sir, I'd like to pick it up.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to pick it up from what will probably come out in your memoir. And you said something very important here, that some people were against the integration of the Igbos, a la the appointment at NNOC, and that's why the coup was plotted against Gowon, and Gowon was ousted. Would you say people with that same sentiment now are those that are advocating that zoning is dead and buried as we speak?
Exactly. Exactly. Some of them are still in this politics today. We are. They were with us. I know their views. There are many, many good northerners. But a few of these Fulani-oriented ones believe that there must be jihad everywhere in Nigeria. Could you imagine a statement made by Lai Mohammed the other day? That we Nigerians should thank President Muhammad Buhari for not allowing jihad to spread in this country. What was the reason? That it was Buhari's government that drove Boko Haram from Nigeria, from Borno State, which Jonathan said no. In his book, The Transition Hour, he said in his book that he was the one, during the suspension of the election, within 6 weeks, he was able to bring mercenaries, join with his army that was fully ready now. That's how they drove away Boko Haram from Nigeria before the election. And it is not true. They are lying. For Mohammed to say that it was Buhari that drove away Boko Haram. So those people are still around. They believe. I remember one of them, I have mentioned them in my book, said the other day that for 200 years, the Hausas were fumbling in Kano and around until their leader came. There was sanity. And if we in the South, we don't care, we don't mind ourselves, they will take care of us. And I told him, try it. So what are we saying? Today, the military had brought us to where we are today. The three-legged pot is now 36. They've now given us 36 states. They've now given us 700 and over local governments. Could you imagine a situation whereby policemen are to be employed in Nigeria? And they said on local government basis. The chairman of the Police Service Commission said no, on state basis. Buhari supported local government. So if Kano is to employ police, men today, which is now in the Supreme Court, Kano will have 440, and Bayelsa, which produces some of the wealth of this country, will have only 80. Jigawa will have 270 or more. The whole of the East will have less than the number of Jigawa and Kano put together. What type of country do we belong to? The Igbos are the only people who have 5 states in this country. The Northwest has 7. So what are we saying? Let us give them a sense of belonging in this country. Since we did not allow them to go, if they were useless people, allow them to go at that time. But you think that they are part of this country, you fought and kept them. You didn't keep them as your slaves. You kept them as your equal. The next governor, president, therefore, you go to the East. If those of them parading themselves, the man who went to school yesterday, you said he's not educated. Is it the man who went to school today that is more educated? So all we are saying, let's live in peace together in this country. Allow the Igbo to produce the president of Nigeria. They have the most competent people. So when I hear people like Mama Dara talking about competency, what type of competency Mama Dara talking? I know him. He was deputy editor to Adamu Chiroma. So people should not deceive us that you are from the north. Because of your population, you now believe that you are superior to others. What is the argument they are making? A man called Professor Ango Abdullahi, he is the leader of the Northern People's Forum. Joined us in 2019 to screen 12 Northerners. There was no Southerners. And Atiku was there. Saraki was there.
Well, Chief.
12 of them were screened in my own place here. Before we went to Port Harcourt for the primary, which Atiku won. They have now forgotten. What is now making them to say that it should be thrown open? Is it because of the incompetence of Buhari? Is it because Buhari is not performing? Is it because of the insecurity in the country that they now want to jettison rotation? When APC came into power in 2014, when they formed themselves, only Northerners contested the primary. Buhari number 1, Tambuwa number 2, Atiku number 3. What makes Atiku to think that he would win election if in 2023? He had been trying. Very soon, he will surpass Buhari. Perhaps he's thinking that in the next one he will win like Buhari. It's God that gives people president. He uses people to make the person. So, but what surprises me, young men like Saraki, in 2011, when Jonathan wanted to contest the presidential election, my very good man, President IBB, Atiku, General Guzo, and Saraki wanted to contest. And they set up a small committee to screen down their number to fight Jonathan during the primary. The meeting was held in Port School under Adamu Chiroma's chairmanship. And Article 1. And the person who was its campaign manager of IBB went to work for Atiku. And Atiku lost the primary. And they said, even 2015, they said, Jonathan must go. So even PDP men contributed money toward Buhari's election. I know them. I have their list. I'll publish it when the time comes.
Well, Chief.
So you want to you have to have a country where you alone will rule me.
Chief.
And the others will be that the black South Africans before Mandela. No way.
Yeah, Chief.
So if rotation is jettisoned, there will be no Nigeria.
Yes, which is the next question I wanted to ask you,
It's not
Chief.
enough to say that we won't vote for you. Yes, please do.
Okay, in the statement that was issued by the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum yesterday, the point was made very clear that this country belongs to all of us. And in reporting the story, this day today says, bury zoning and bury Nigeria. South Middle Belt Leaders won. Now, is that a threat? In the event that both the APC and the PDP, I say, is that a threat? In the event that the two major political parties and others decide to choose northern presidential candidates, what option is available to the South? Particularly now that Southern leaders...
Ruben.
Yes. Please go ahead, sir.
Now, Abati, September, October last year, I fell ill. I almost died. I was unconscious in the intensive care unit for 7 days. I didn't know I was in this world. I woke up one Saturday morning by 4 o'clock and I fell ill. I sent for my doctor. When I woke up, they said, I've been in the hospital for 7 days. I didn't know. When I woke up, I asked myself, this Almighty God still has a job for me to perform. And I must complete performing that job before I will go. I've said before, when you are 70 and above, you are the boarding, you have your boarding pass.
We'll be right back. Stay with us. It's the Arise News channel. Welcome back to the morning show here on the Arise News channel. Our guest is still Chief Edwin Clark, leader of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum PANDEF and Chairman Board of Trustees, Igbo National Congress. Chief Clark, thank you very much for staying with us. If you may just continue.
At this juncture, I may also inform you, after saying that God has kept me to carry out this fight, I'm also the leader of the Southern and Middle Belt Forum. As I was during the 2014 conference in Abuja here, nobody will take us for a ride. We are not giving threat to anybody. We also have our own plan. Nigeria belongs to all of us. What will I tell the Igbo man tell his son? After the war, you cannot become president. After the war, you still have 5 states, 5 ministers. You have the lowest revenue coming to you. No way. So if you are blaming Kanu, you are in a country we belong to, you have different law for different people. Some people, without committing offense, or alleged offense they must have committed, you said they are terrorists. Then the terrorists in the southeast, in the northeast, You capture them who have been killing our people over the years. You capture them, you dress them, that you have forgiven them, you have pardoned them, you throw uniform for them. Who are you deceiving? Who are you deceiving? So I am saying that I do not think there are so many people in this country who are senior to me by age. I'm appealing to my fellow Northerners. Please, we want a Nigeria, peaceful Nigeria, where all of us are equal, where our children can aspire to any position. Otherwise, they'll be asking questions. And they won't allow it to lie low. Even after me, there will be problems in Nigeria. You are not more educated than people in the South. If you are thinking of population that will use your population to oppress the South, South will say no. Those ages are gone. Atiku is parading himself that Fulani will vote for him. How many Fulani voted for him during the last election of 2019? About 5 million. And about 5 million Southerners voted for him. How many times had he been contesting election? Wants to be president. What qualified him to be wanting to be president than any other Nigerian? So we are not threatening anybody. We have our own plans also. This country belongs to all of us. You have, for over 20, 30 years, you rule this country militarily. You say you don't know what is called restructuring. Yet your soldier sons who were head of states carried out restructuring in this country, created more states, created more local governments, changed our revenue system. What did they not do? Wrote about constitutions. Yet we would say, as if Nigeria came in only on 1999. You are counting 1999. Tafawa Balewa, who was president of Nigeria, it is because we were practicing the parliamentary system. He was prime minister like Johnson, like the prime minister of Australia, New Zealand. So it is not proper for people to mislead this country. They are educated people in this country. They are people who will not allow themselves to be tossed around. I've been here for over 7 years with Jonathan. I saw the treatment given to Jonathan. I'm writing a book on that. The making of a president. Where I will show out. When I see a man like Professor Jiga talking today, I'm now PRP. It's a shame. Ask him a question. In 2011, he was not there. No, I'm sorry. Yes, he was there. The man who is a senator from Niger State, I don't want to mention his name yet. I will mention his name. Was printing cards, the voting cards. In my time here, we saw them, and they ran away to contracted it to Chinese. That was why in 2011, some elections could not be held because they couldn't print the papers. And they were blacklisted by INEC, who canceled the blacklist. That they were given the same contract in 2015. It's in court today that he was detained by the SSS during the 2015 election because it was a danger. So I know the conspiracy they had.
Yes, sir.
Jonathan.
Well, we're very thankful,
they were
sir.
even ready to kidnap him.
Oh, dear. Well, sir, if I could come in here because we're running out of time,
I'm
sir.
hearing you.
We're so thankful for your full recovery. You
Pardon?
said that you have, I said we're so thankful for your full recovery. You said that you have plans. Do those
Thank you, my
plans,
doctor.
yes, sir. Do those plans include consulting with the North? There is no Northern monolith, but we have heard from influential Northern figures who have said that they are not averse to a Southern presidency in principle, but what has caused some resistance from their side is this sense of entitlement and these demands. They prefer to be convinced, to be approached for a dialogue.
Let me say this. I gave a statement yesterday. Any Southern governor, any Southern former governor, any Southern politician who agreed to make himself a vice to a Northerner in this election is very unpatriotic and is not a true Southerner. And God will take care of his case.
Well,
Listen, we have tried to negotiate with these people. This Ango Abdullah, we have had a series of meetings with him in Transcorp Hilton. I'm sorry, in Sheraton Hotel. Try to agree among ourselves. 2018, 2019, he will agree with us. But being a Fulani, immediately you talk about restructuring, he will back out. Now I hear that he's not supposed to. Could you imagine a situation whereby 2014 conference was not adopted by Buhari? Then El-Rufai was appointed by the APC. He wrote a report after traveling through the whole country and submitted the report to their NEC. President Buhari was present. Oyegu confirmed it. Who was the chairman? Where is that report? Nigerians are now ready for El-Rufai's report. Let Mr. President summon a town hall meeting. We will all be there. Let's discuss El-Rufai's report.
well, on that note, sir.
On reconstruction.
On that note, sir, we'd like to thank you very much for joining us on the morning show.